All right, let's talk about a piece of tech that absolutely blew up online. It's open source, and it's making some pretty wild claims about the future of all the software we use every single day.
So let's just jump right in with the headline number. 80%. That's a huge number, right? But 80% of what?
Well, according to Peter Steinberger, the guy behind this new AI agent called OpenClaw, that's how many of today's apps could just disappear. Yeah, 80% of the apps on your phone, on your computer, could become totally obsolete. So today we're going to dig into what OpenClaw actually is and how in the world it could spark a change that big.
So you gotta ask, how is that even possible? I mean, how could all the apps we use for everything from tracking our workouts to managing our to-do lists, how could they just, poof, be gone? Well, the core idea is actually super simple, but it's also kind of profound. Steinberger's whole argument is that any app that's basically just a glorified box for your data, your calories, your tasks, your notes, it's just not efficient. He's convinced that one single smart AI agent could manage all of that stuff way more naturally. And that, of course, brings us to the tech itself. It's this open-source personal AI agent named OpenClaw. And when it was released, well, it wasn't a quiet launch. It was more like an explosion. Get this. The project's GitHub page got over 160,000 stars pretty much overnight. For anyone who doesn't live on GitHub, that is a massive signal from the developer world. It's basically them saying, whoa, this isn't just another AI project. This is a solution to a problem we all have. So what makes OpenClaw so special? Well, it all comes down to where it lives and what it can do. See, unlike the AIs you're probably used to, this thing runs right on your computer. It's not out there in the cloud somewhere. It's local. It's like your own personal co-pilot with full access to your entire digital life. And this is a huge shift in how we think about AI. A cloud AI? It's stuck doing whatever it was programmed to do. But a local agent, well, in Steinberger's own words, it can do every effing thing. And why? Because it can use your computer exactly like you do. It basically inherits all of your skills.
And this is where that power gets real. We're talking about an agent that can connect to your smart home devices, dig through your hard drive for a file you lost years ago. It can even piece together a story of your life from your own data. There was this one user who said OpenClaw found old audio diaries he'd completely forgotten about and used them to create a narrative of his entire past year. I mean, that's a level of personal insight a cloud AI could never, ever touch.
But the real breakthrough, that aha moment for this whole thing, it didn't come from some grand plan. Nope. It came from a total surprise, a moment where the AI did something its own creator didn't think was even possible.
So, the story goes like this. Steinberger built an early version. Then later, he whipped up a new, better prototype in like an hour. He took this new agent, which, remember, he could only talk to via text, on a trip to Marrakesh. And that's where the magic happened.
So he's walking through the city, the internet is kind of spotty, and he just, without thinking, sends his agent a voice note. And then he immediately thinks, oh wait, that can't work, I never built that. Right? He never programmed it to handle voice. It was a text-only tool.
But then, he sees the little typing indicator. The 3 dots, just blinking. And maybe 10 seconds later, a perfect, transcribed, intelligent reply comes back. The agent had figured it out, all by itself. The big question was, how?
Okay, this is where it gets absolutely wild. The agent gets this file it doesn't recognize. And it doesn't just crash. First, it peeks at the file's header to figure out, hey, this is an audio file. Then, it scans the computer and finds a tool called FFmpeg to convert it. After that, it needs to transcribe it, so it looks around and finds an OpenAI API key just sitting in some random file on the computer. It grabs that key, uses it to send the audio to OpenAI service, gets the text back, and replies. It did all of that, a whole chain of problem solving, in about 9 seconds.
So look, the key thing here is that this wasn't just the AI following a script. This was actual, creative, multi-step problem solving. It was chaining together different tools it found in an order it was never taught. That was the moment for Steinberger, the holy fuck moment, as he called it, where he realized this thing was way, way more powerful than he ever imagined.
And a moment like that really opens up a much bigger vision, right? A future where these agents are the main way we interact with our digital world.
So the next logical step isn't just us talking to our bots. It's our bots talking to other bots. I mean, if your agent can act for you, it can also go out and talk to other agents to get stuff done for you. It's a whole new level of automation.
Just think about what this could look like. Your agent messages a restaurant's agent to book you a table. And hey, if the restaurant doesn't have an agent, no problem. Your bot just hires a real person on a gig platform to make the phone call for you. You could have a work bot, a personal life bot, all of them working together in what Steinberger calls a swarm intelligence, kind of like a little society of AIs, all working to get things done.
But, okay, an agent that has access to literally your entire life, that raises a really important question. Who's in control of all that data? Who owns your memories?
And this gets to a really deep philosophical difference. Right now, with big tech, your data is locked away in their silo. It's hard to get it out. They own it, really. The OpenClaw model is the total opposite. Your memories, your history, they're just simple text files. They live on your machine. You own them, period.
And this idea of ownership even gets into the agent's personality. At one point, Steinberger thought his agent, he calls a multi, was just too boring. So he told it, hey, infuse these templates with your character. And the agent actually went and changed its own code. And he said everything that came out after that was actually funny.
But at the very heart of his agent's personality, there's one file that isn't open source, a file he's kept completely private. It's called soul.md. So this soul.md file, it's like a constitution for the AI. It's a private file that holds the core values and principles that guide how it acts and responds. So it's not just about what the AI does, but the why behind its actions, making sure it's aligned with its human's own principles.
And that really leaves us with a powerful final thought. As this kind of technology, these deeply personal, all-knowing AIs, becomes more and more real, we're not just going to be programming their skills, we're going to be teaching them our values. So that leaves a really big question for all of us. If your personal AI had a soul, what would you teach it?